Philosophies Revived.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Carl Jung and exploring why your dark side, or what Jung calls the shadow, is actually your friend. Now you might be thinking, why would my dark side be my friend? Isn't it something I should avoid? Well, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why embracing your dark side is one of the most powerful things you can do for your personal growth and self-awareness. Let's start by acknowledging that everyone has a dark side. It's not something exclusive to a few, it's a universal aspect of being human. Carl Jung, a pioneer in the field of psychology, spent his life studying the human mind and its complexities. He believed that understanding and integrating our dark side is crucial for achieving true self-awareness and personal growth. Your dark side, or the shadow, consists of all the parts of yourself that you reject or hide. These can be traits, desires, or impulses that you find undesirable or shameful. But here's the thing, ignoring these aspects doesn't make them disappear. In fact, they become more powerful the more you suppress them. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. The more you push it down, the more forcefully it will pop back up. So why should you care about your dark side? Because it's a treasure trove of untapped potential. When you confront and accept your shadow, you unlock a deeper understanding of yourself. This process can lead to profound personal growth, helping you to become more authentic and whole. In this video, we'll explore practical ways to acknowledge and integrate your shadow, why it's essential for your well-being, and how it can ultimately become a valuable friend and ally in your journey through life. The founders of depth psychology, Carl Jung, along with Sigmund Freud and Alfred Adler, is one of the founding fathers of modern depth psychology. While Jung started his career under the guidance of Freud, he eventually branched out to develop his own theories, leading to the creation of analytic psychology. Jung's work has given us profound insights into the human psyche, and one of his most impactful contributions is his exploration of the shadow. Jung's relationship with Freud was complex and ultimately transformative for both men and the field of psychology. Initially, Jung was a close collaborator and protege of Freud, but he began to diverge from Freud's theories, particularly regarding the nature of the unconscious mind. Freud focused primarily on the sexual and aggressive drives in the unconscious, whereas Jung believed that the unconscious was much broader and included spiritual and collective elements as well. This divergence led Jung to develop his own school of thought, known as analytic psychology. Central to this new approach was the concept of the shadow. Jung posited that our unconscious mind houses not just repressed desires and traumatic memories, but also the shadow, the parts of ourselves we deem unacceptable and thus hide from our conscious mind. This could include anything from our deepest fears to socially undesirable traits like jealousy, anger, or greed. Unlike Freud, who saw the unconscious as a repository of repressed desires that needed to be controlled, Jung saw it as a source of potential and creativity. He believed that by confronting and integrating the shadow, individuals could achieve a more balanced and whole self. This process, which he called individuation, is about bringing the unconscious into consciousness and integrating all aspects of the self, both light and dark. Understanding the shadow. So, what exactly is the shadow? Imagine you're in a brightly lit room, and there's a part of the room that's always dark, hidden from the light. That dark part is your shadow. It's everything about yourself that you don't want to acknowledge: your bad traits, your insecurities, your fears, and your impulses. It's all the stuff you push down and pretend isn't there. The concept of the shadow is both intriguing and intimidating. It's like a hidden basement in your mind, where you stash away all the things you'd rather not deal with. But here's the thing, just because you ignore, it doesn't mean it ceases to exist. In fact, the more you push these aspects away, the more power they gain. Think about it like this. If you keep a pot on simmer with the lid tightly on, eventually the steam will build up and the pot will boil over. Similarly, your repressed traits don't vanish. They simmer and eventually boil over in unexpected ways. Jung believed that the shadow encompasses everything outside the light of consciousness and may be positive or negative. It includes parts of ourselves that we might not be aware of, or that we might even project onto others. For instance, if someone is overly critical of others, it might be because they are suppressing their own critical tendencies and projecting them outward. The key to dealing with the shadow is to acknowledge its existence and bring it into the light. This doesn't mean indulging in negative behaviors, but rather recognizing these aspects as part of yourself. By doing so, you reduce their control over you. It's like learning to work with a difficult colleague rather than constantly being at odds with them. The more you understand your shadow, the better you can manage it, and the more integrated your personality becomes. Why ignoring your shadow is dangerous? You might think, if I just ignore my bad traits, they'll disappear, right? Wrong. Suppressing your shadow can lead to all sorts of problems. Imagine a kettle boiling with the lid on. Eventually, the pressure builds up and the kettle whistles, demanding attention. Similarly, if you keep ignoring your dark side, it will manifest in unexpected and often destructive ways. Ever had a sudden outburst of anger that seemed to come out of nowhere? That's your shadow making an appearance. When you ignore your shadow, you're essentially cutting off a part of yourself. This self-rejection can lead to various negative consequences, both psychologically and physically. Repressed emotions and traits don't just vanish, they linger in your unconscious, influencing your thoughts, behaviors, and even your relationships. For instance, suppressed anger can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even physical health issues like high blood pressure. It can also result in passive-aggressive behavior or sudden, uncontrollable outbursts that seem disproportionate to the situation at hand. Saboteur. Embrace your dark side. So, how do you deal with your shadow? The first step is to acknowledge it. Carl Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." This means you need to bring your dark side into the light and get to know it. Start by asking yourself some tough questions. What behaviors did you exhibit today that you're not proud of? Why did you act that way? What were you afraid of? This kind of self-interrogation can be uncomfortable, but it's crucial for understanding your shadow. Embracing your dark side isn't about giving in to negative traits or indulging harmful behaviors. It's about recognizing these aspects as part of you and understanding where they come from. Think of it as shining a flashlight into a dark corner of your room. You might not like what you see at first, but once it's illuminated, you can start cleaning it up and making sense of it. One effective way to start this process is through mindfulness and meditation. By sitting quietly and observing your thoughts without judgment, you can start to notice patterns and recurring themes. Pay attention to moments when you feel discomfort, anger, or jealousy. Instead of pushing these feelings away, explore them. Ask yourself why you feel this way and what underlying fears or insecurities might be driving these emotions. Practical ways to explore your shadow. Jung recommended several methods to explore the shadow, including meditation, journaling, and drawing mandalas. Mandalas are particularly interesting. They're circular designs that can help focus your thoughts and reveal your inner feelings. As you draw, pay attention to the shapes and colors you use. Are they harsh and cold or soft and warm? This can give you insights into your unconscious mind. Meditation is a great starting point for exploring your shadow. It allows you to quiet your mind and observe your thoughts without judgment. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Focus on your breathing and let your thoughts come and go. When you notice thoughts related to fear, anger, or other negative emotions, don't push them away. Instead, gently explore them. Ask yourself what triggers these feelings and what they might be telling you about your hidden fears or desires. Journaling is another powerful method. Set aside time each day to write about your experiences, thoughts, and feelings. Be honest and open with yourself. Write about moments when you felt jealous, angry, or scared. Reflect on these moments and consider what they reveal about your inner world. This process can help you gain clarity and perspective, making it easier to understand and integrate your shadow. Projection, the mirror of your shadow. Another way to uncover your shadow is by examining how you judge others. Often, the traits we despise in others are the ones we suppress in ourselves. For example, if you find yourself constantly criticizing others for being lazy, it might be because you're denying your own tendencies towards laziness. This is called projection, and it's a powerful tool for self-discovery. Projection occurs when we attribute our own undesirable traits or emotions to others. It's a defense mechanism that helps us avoid facing our own flaws by shifting the focus onto someone else. While this might provide temporary relief, it ultimately prevents us from addressing and integrating these aspects of ourselves. To use projection as a tool for self-discovery, start by paying attention to your judgments and criticisms of others. When you find yourself feeling irritated or angry with someone, take a step back and ask yourself why. What specific trait or behavior is triggering this reaction? Once you identify it, consider whether this is something you might be struggling with yourself. For example, if you're quick to label someone as arrogant, it might be worth exploring whether you have moments of arrogance that you're not acknowledging. By recognizing this, you can start to address and work on this trait within yourself. Why your shadow is your friend. Now, let's talk about why your shadow is actually your friend. Your dark side can reveal your true self. Jung said, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." This means that to become your best self, you need to embrace all parts of you, including the dark ones. Your shadow holds a wealth of untapped potential and wisdom. It's like a treasure chest hidden in the depths of your unconscious mind. When you bring it into the light and get to know it, you unlock new aspects of yourself that can contribute to your personal growth and development. One of the main benefits of befriending your shadow is that it helps you become more authentic. When you acknowledge and integrate your dark side, you stop pretending to be something you're not. You embrace your true self, flaws and all. This authenticity can lead to deeper and more meaningful relationships as people are drawn to your genuine nature. The shadow's wisdom. Your shadow can also give you valuable advice. Imagine you're playing a video game and you've ignored the map. You keep getting lost and running into obstacles. Your shadow is like that map. It shows you the terrain of your inner world, helping you navigate it more effectively. For instance, if your shadow is made up of greed, anger, and laziness, these traits can actually be useful in certain situations. Greed might drive you to achieve more. Anger can motivate you to stand up for yourself, and laziness can remind you to take a break and relax. By listening to your shadow, you can find balance and use these traits to your advantage. Greed, when acknowledged and understood, can transform into a healthy drive for success and self-improvement. It can push you to set higher goals and strive for excellence. Instead of seeing greed as purely negative, recognize it as a signal that you have ambitions and desires that need to be addressed. By channeling this energy constructively, you can achieve more and fulfill your potential. Anger is another trait that can be incredibly useful when harnessed correctly. It often signals that something is wrong or unfair, and it can motivate you to take action. Instead of repressing your anger, listen to it. Ask yourself why you're angry and what changes you can make to address the underlying issue. Anger can fuel your determination to stand up for yourself and others, fight for justice, and make necessary changes in your life. Laziness, often viewed negatively, can also have a positive side. It can remind you to slow down, relax, and take care of yourself. In our fast-paced world, constantly pushing yourself can lead to burnout. Recognizing your need for rest and downtime is essential for maintaining balance and well-being. By acknowledging this aspect of your shadow, you can create a more sustainable and fulfilling lifestyle. Becoming unique through your shadow. Another amazing benefit of befriending your shadow is that it helps you become unique. When you suppress parts of yourself, you become inauthentic. You're always trying to fit into a mold that isn't you. But when you embrace your shadow, you embrace what makes you different and special. Think of it like cooking. If you leave out half the ingredients, the dish won't taste right. Your shadow is like those missing ingredients. By incorporating them, you create a unique and authentic version of yourself that no one else can replicate. When you suppress parts of yourself to fit into societal norms or meet others' expectations, you lose touch with your true self. This can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and a sense of living a life that isn't truly yours. Embracing your shadow allows you to reclaim these suppressed parts and integrate them into your identity, making you a more complete and authentic person. Your shadow often contains traits and desires that make you unique. These might be unconventional interests, creative impulses, or even quirks that you've been taught to hide. By acknowledging and embracing these aspects, you can express yourself more fully and authentically. This authenticity not only feels liberating, but also makes you more relatable and attractive to others. People are drawn to authenticity because it's rare and refreshing in a world where many wear masks to fit in. The shadow as a lifelong friend. Remember, befriending your shadow is a lifelong process. Just like any friendship, it requires constant work and attention. Sometimes, your shadow will give you bad advice, and you'll need to challenge it. Jung warned, beware of unearned wisdom. This means you need to carefully consider your shadow's advice and not just blindly follow it. When your shadow tells you to get angry, ask yourself why. Is it justified? Will it help the situation or make it worse? Engage in a dialogue with your shadow and make thoughtful decisions based on its input. This ongoing conversation will help you grow and use your shadow's wisdom effectively. Integrating your shadow is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey of self-discovery and growth. It requires regular self-reflection and honesty. Just like maintaining a friendship, you need to nurture and engage with your shadow regularly. This means setting aside time for introspection, whether through meditation, journaling, or other reflective practices. When your shadow surfaces, it's important to approach it with curiosity and openness rather than fear or judgment. Ask yourself what this part of you is trying to communicate. What unmet needs or unresolved issues are driving these feelings or behaviors? By exploring these questions, you can gain deeper insights into your psyche and make more informed decisions. It's also crucial to evaluate the advice your shadow provides. Not all impulses or desires are beneficial or constructive. For example, while anger can be a signal that something is wrong, acting on it impulsively can lead to negative consequences. Similarly, while it's important to acknowledge feelings of greed, unchecked greed can lead to unethical behavior. By critically assessing your shadow's advice, you can distinguish between helpful insights and potentially harmful impulses. So, there you have it, why your dark side is your friend according to Carl Jung. Embracing your shadow can help you become more self-aware, authentic, and balanced. It's not about suppressing your dark traits, but understanding and integrating them into your life. Take the time to explore your shadow through meditation, journaling, and self-reflection. Pay attention to how you judge others and what that says about you. Remember, your shadow is a map to your inner world, and by getting to know it, you can navigate your life with more wisdom and clarity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our full Philosophies for Life playlist. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on finding success and happiness through beautiful philosophical wisdom. See you next time